Hello everyone, I am making a video just because something on Facebook just sparked this in my head, and it's something that I've kind of talked about before, but it's really something passionate to me, and so I'm not really doing a video response per se, but it is kind of a response, but it's my take on it. I know that it was kind of like a neither here nor there, that it really wasn't the post wasn't really about the person's video. It was, he was trying out a title that would draw more views. But the thing is that the subject, when I watched his video, is very passionate to me. His thing was, can a witch be a vegetarian? And so then he went deciding, I'm taking that he is a vegetarian, but he has acquired other stuff, and then he was kind of giving his reasons. And to me, it was more like excuses, and let me tell you why. I'm not attacking him or anything. Each and every one should have their own craft and what they think deems right. But being a vegan, which I think that my own power is, and intent is so strong that I don't need to involve other stuff. Now, here's the thing. I think that people get in this aesthetic thing where, I don't know how to explain it except for sometimes the creepier things add to what we're doing, which I can see that being a possibility, as like blood or bones or parts of stuff. And he had cited a couple things, and I'll tell you a little bit about what my response was. Is he someone had given him an owl claw, and he asked where they got it, and then he said that it was roadkill, and then kind of glossed over that and went in and felt okay about it, because otherwise, it was just going to be waste or thrown away, or become part of the earth. And that's where I take issue, because the reason I just think that we need to think more beyond our own personal needs, right? I think that his response was like, oh, it's just going to be thrown away anyway. The point is that we've just desecrated a living being. And I don't separate human beings as some kind of superiority thing from every other life form on this planet. I just don't. I think we have the right to survive and protect ourselves, but I don't think we're above that my life means more than any other living thing. And this is everything. People or animals or whatever. And I have to constantly think about this every day. Like, I have to remind myself that I'm no better, because it's ingrained in our head from everywhere around us that, and people just think that we're some kind of worth more, that we're superiority. Our species is better than everything else. And everything else is at our beck and call, and we can do with what we want. And I just don't see that being the case anymore. First of all, what I cited to him in my post, because it was just a text post, was that yes, it was just roadkill, but think about that as you're just making that animal an object. I was just hit by a car. Well, it was a living, breathing, feeling thing. So then that means that if it was struck by a car or a truck or whatever killed it, it probably suffered immensely. We don't have to, even for 2 seconds, that's suffering. Your body's going to release a bunch of endorphins and hormones and whatever because of the trauma you've just suffered. And and what if it could have suffered for a really long time, or it could have, you never know. And so it's already suffered. So all that energy, and so it's suffered. It's kind of I have to look, because I'm talking as I'm thinking, and so I don't want to mess it up. but it's like suffering and panic and all that that energy is in its body, right? And then it passes after however long, a second to days or an hour or whatever. But that energy is stored in that thing, and then you desecrate its body by taking its claw to use for your own personal reasons. I just don't think we have I personally would not use that in any of my workings. But I'm not doing anything that would require the energies of suffering, torture, panic, and, you know what I mean? I just don't really do that. If I'm looking to inflict that onto someone else, my mindset and my energy level is going to be at such a point that I don't think I need any additives, because all that animal claw or whatever part that you've stolen from them is not going to, it's just an additive. It's like using a stone or an herb or a candle, or it's just another point. It's an additive to enhance the spell. But I don't really think that if you're feeling like you want to inflict pain and suffering on someone, you're already in there. I think you have enough of that energy already. I mean, yes, it would be an additive to the spell, but I don't believe it's ours to take. He also talked about writing down spells with a quill because it enhances the magic and what have you, and I can see that. However, where did you get the quill? Where did you get the feather? Now, if it was like a molted feather, like it fell off of a bird, and it wasn't like you pulled it out, you could, I guess, use that. I'd be careful, because you never know what's on it, but at the same time I guess you could use that. That would be okay. But for me, it's my energy, right? So even if I make a calligraphy pen, make one out of wood and a metal thing, even because all of this, attaching it and making it and wrapping it or whatever you want to do, they put the thread so that it stores and blah blah blah. All that is you're placing energy into it. So then that magical quill or magical pen, and you only use it for that purpose, is more than using some animal feather. I think, it's all about the working of it, not just aesthetic value, right? Yes, it looks creepy and it looks cool, but who cares? It's the energy, I think, for my workings. He also talked about like going to using eggs or other stuff, and I'm equating into a ritual or a spell or working. And he said, go to some place where the chickens are happy, and get one of their eggs from. And then I was like, right, see, we're just still not thinking. We have to get past that. We think that animals are just objects that we can just use, like my phone. And then when I'm done with it, or it's breaks or whatever, I just throw it away, and it's not that it's out of sight, out of mind. I spent some money on it, but so what? Those eggs are baby chickens. Even if they're not fertilized, it's the menstrual cycle of a bird. So, I take issue with taking that. I don't eat them. I mean, if you think about it, veganism goes way beyond just diet. We don't use any parts of an animal at all, ever. So, like, when I go to buy shoes, I have to make sure that they're man-made material. And then there's the dyes weren't, I get kind of in depth. I have to tattoo. I have to check and see what's in the ink. Was the ink tested on animals? Was the ink, blah blah blah. I have to ask those questions. Everyday life. When I bought my car, I made sure that the glue was man-made as much as I could, and that I don't have leather seats. I don't believe in using animal skin or hide for my. It's an animal that did not want to die to become a car seat. So I think we need to get past. That's where I think, for me, in my craft, in my path, is that intent, my own intent. The power comes from the witch, not the objects we decide to surround ourselves with. And go think deeper when you go or want to use something. You know what I mean? That's why I studied for a while. I studied some stuff that would require a human skull, and I know in one of the books they even tell where you can get them from. People donate, like I'm going to donate my body to science, and you can. But I don't think when people say I donate my body to science, that they're thinking, oh, I'm donating my body to a witch. So someone's going to have my skull and they're going to put it on an altar. You know what I mean? Now, if they knew that from the get-go and it was an all peaceful thing, even if it was like an ancestor, and this is like a tradition, is after I die, you clean my bones and you use them, right? If that's a thing, fine, because that's all knowledge. It's all known by every party. But I wouldn't want to use the bones of someone that was brutally murdered, or died in a car accident, or died of a fatal disease, or anything like that, because of the energy that's attached to their remains, right? So the same thing would be with animal parts. Anything animal. Like, we just don't think about it enough. And I know that it's, for some people, it's really overwhelming to think, oh God, I can't use anything because I have to think about it. Well, that attitude is just a whole another ball of wax. Sorry, my eyes are gonna itch. It's just another whole ball of wax because of your laziness. You're taking advantage of something else that did not want to die. Period. And the only reason, even though, yes, the damage is done, so I have a piece of leather, or I have a piece of fur, or, it's in the store, yes, the damage is done, but the only way that damage is going to keep from happening is to stop buying it. Otherwise, they're just going to keep doing it. Supply and demand. It's a basic thing. So if you want it, someone's going to go, oh, well, I don't care about it. I'll go kill something and rip it apart or electrocute it from its butt or whatever and steal its fur. It's just, you know what I mean? It's skin. It won't ever stop unless we as a people grow and evolve and realize that we're not the bosses of everything else on this planet. That's only a little bit of what I could get into with the subject, but yes, you can be a vegetarian witch. Yes, you can be a vegan witch. I'm living proof of that. So I want to instill that I am not by any means trying to attack anyone's practice, or I'm not trying to go after this young man who's making a video. It's just something that sparked and is near and dear to my heart, and that I'm passionate about, and I don't think I talk enough about. I kind of do the YouTube Pagan Challenges recently, and that's it. And I do other things, but it's just, right, this time of year has been a little overwhelming, so, yeah. So, yes, I think it's possible for you to be vegan and vegetarian. And no, I'm not going to compromise my belief system because of a working, or because someone tries to give me a present that's inappropriate, or anything like that. I don't see that. I just don't want that energy in my workings, basically. like I said, I mean, for me, I would really have to know the exact circumstances that a feather was involved, um, or you know, what I mean, because he had brought up about writing the spells with feathers. Excuse me. And but like any kind of bones or remains of any living creature that was like an animal or a person or what have you, I would really have to know the in-depth, not just what someone tells me. I'd have to know what the circumstances were with their passing and their life. Over a long, you know, I mean, what if over a period of time someone was treated or something was treated very badly, and then even though the death was peaceful, would I still want their light, their energy? I want them to be at peace. I don't want their energy from their entire horrible existence. You know what I mean? Yes, the remains are just going to fade back to the earth, but I think that's where they're best. To go back and be reborn, you know what I mean? Decay and turn into dirt and come back as in a plant or something. Yeah. So I know I was a little. I'm sorry about the sound levels because when I get really excited, I talk really loud, and if I'm really close to my camera, I've tried to use other mics and they just don't work as well, and I don't want to drop the coins on a big, like I'm on a radio show mic. So I just use the one in my webcam or the one in my phone's cam. So, like I said, I was not out. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. I was not out to attack or degrade anyone's practice. I'm just giving my point, and I think that a lot of times that the people don't hear what they're saying, and it's like they're in denial or they're kidding themselves and making an excuse so that they can do what they want, so they can use the part of an animal or they can use whatever without and still have their label as vegetarian or vegan and not feel remorse for that. And I just think that I try really hard every day to try and not do that to myself. And when I see it blatantly in someone's video, I usually don't say anything because they're just going to be defensive anyway. They're not going to want to hear what I have to say. But at this point, I was just like, it's just so obvious to me that I'm going to point it out. So if people don't like me for that, I am sorry. But I'm here my path is to make a difference. And in my own life and those around me. So I will talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. If you would like to leave a positive comment down in the box below, go right ahead, hit me up on social media or what have you. Let me know your thoughts and feelings behind it. And I can even make videos where I'm more in depth of the problems I have and whatever, or even the not the problems, but the positive side of it. But if it's something you would like to know more on, let me know, and maybe it'll spark another video. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Blessed be.